Quay. Morning, Rev. It's 4:26 in the morning, West Coast time. It's the 28th of October, 2024. We got the corporate media freaking out left and right over what the print's been doing, or not been doing. They haven't been attacking Trump, and they're terrified. I got MSNBC in the background. Washington Post is not going to do any damn thing. Either is LA Times. Wall Street Journal's laughing. Yeah, we got too much fear and too much crap going on, and they're going to keep repeating and talking about these points all damn day, and all the way probably past election day. I tried to stay out of it, dude. I tried to stay out of it as best as I could. I tried to distance myself from all the psychological hubbub and all the fear mongering, and I couldn't. Oh God, they got scary moochy on there. They brought out the scare. They brought out the mooch. Oh, they could have kept Alexander Cortez on there, but she probably didn't have the time. Oh, for listening to her instead of the mooch. Mooch was on the president's, not Biden's, but Trump's press detail, being a spokesperson. He got kicked out. I was trying to stay away from it. I heard that Trump had a rally over at Madison Square Garden. What I wasn't hearing was any feedback outside. If there was anybody protesting, and if there were, they weren't covering it. Not even on the tubes. Nothing. Quiet. Dead. But there was one guy who actually went out to the rally, heard, came back, disgusted as hell, probably took Maalox. He couldn't deal with the first few minutes of President Trump, but he was trying to stomach everyone else's viewpoints, and he couldn't deal with it. He sounds like someone I'm dealing with on a constant basis, or trying to anyway. A guy named of Artist in Recovery. His real name's Daryl P. He identifies himself. And this guy is scared to death about Trump. He blames Trump for killing his fiancee. I think I talked to you about this one. Apparently, his fiancee was a lifelong girlfriend, off and on, all the way from grade school. Love of his life. Somehow she got mixed in with the thought patterns and the behaviors of a maggot. I didn't say MAGA, I said maggot. To me, they're all maggots. Self-reproducing. And in a process, COVID-19 kicked in, and she was hearing from President Gasbag about the inoculations, immunizations are poison. Other ways of trying to get rid of the COVID, but it'll kill you one way or another. She didn't. She didn't listen to the healthcare professionals who were struggling, trying to find a way to protect the masses, including using the inoculations. I myself had 3 of them. I hate the needle, but I still needed them anyway. I needed to live. But she was adamant. She was okay. Well, she got the damn bug. And, yeah, she passed. He blames not her, but Trump putting the ideas in her head. Me, I kept saying to people, I blame the voters. Because you're the ones who voted in a monster You're the ones that voted in an idiot who didn't know what the hell he was doing, playing hate games with people left and right. I blame the voters for this shit. I didn't vote for the asshole. I wouldn't vote for the guy. I was voting for Hillary. But I couldn't see this guy coming through the ranks, up to the ranks, pushing through, and people like this guy. He has put himself in a situation. He has groomed himself to be a people-pleasing kind of God. I am your. Well, we all know what kind of a con artist he is, and he conned a hell of a lot of people. To which there was a lot of people that did listen to him and died. And my friend is angry, and he's terrified. Requesting a prayer request for the guy. Please. He needs one. He needs a lot of them. Well, we all need a lot of them here. And the thing of it is, I am trying to let it go. We've got so much fear and so much hype right now. I don't even know. I'm getting conflicted and confused. If you heard some of my videos that I've already sent over to you, you probably heard it. More so. I'm starting to have doubts concerning about the person I voted for. Whether or not she's up for it. I'm not siding with Trump. No way in hell. This gas bag's already done enough damage as it is. And the people followed him. We're looking over the edge of the cliff. I am getting sick and tired of getting pushed by these people. Trying to find a way to get past these assholes as they're going over the cliff one by one. Or all in mass at this point. They're falling for this guy, literally. And he's scaring the hell out of me on this one. And you've already heard a lot of it from your own congregation. I'm not the one trying to thump on a table and say, we demand action. We want to do this. But nor am I the one going to be sitting back and just cowering at this point. The only thing I could do is keep talking. If in the event that a gas bag gets in office, there was either a direct or indirect threat he made towards his enemy, the gas bag. And that would be the ones who are disagreeing with him a great deal. It always kind of reminds me of when, right after Christ's passage, and we actually had people hunting Christians because we couldn't deal with it. Even the emperor, Caesar at the time, if I remember some of the stories, thought Christ's following was just a cult threatening his empire, and vowed to have them executed, captured, and thrown into pits of lions. Wasn't there a story in there somewhere, probably written in the Bible, that even one person was actually able not to be eaten by the lions? They were starved themselves to death, so human flesh would be the only meal to have. Wasn't there a story out there where one guy actually made a difference with one of the lions? Was it Democles? Pericles? There was a story in there I remember coming across, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm trying to remember the damn thing. It was passed around from generation to generation. I can't even remember what the damn thing was because I remember coming across this one. Democles and a lion? It was a Greek, I think. Hold on. Damocles and the lion. Androcles. There was a play on this one. No. No, I think it was Damocles. Androcles, yeah, wait. It was actually done in 1912. Project Gutenberg's got it. Alright, let me, Aesop's fails. Aesop. Alright, Britannica, set me straight on this one. Roman slave. Okay, different time. Tiberius or Caligula. Story taken originally from a work by Apion, 1st century AD. Also found in Aliens. De Natural Animalum, on the nature of animals. And Seneca's De Beneficiis, on benefits, tells that Androcles had been refuge from the cruelties of his master in a cave in Africa. When a lion entered the cave and showed him his swollen paw, which Androcles extracted a large thorn. Later, the grateful animal recognized him when Androcles had been captured and thrown to the wild beast in the circus. Instead of attacking him, began to caress him. Both were set free. The story is the subject of the play Androcles and the Lion by George Bernard Shaw. I wasn't quite sure if there was something about the Christians being fed to lions, and maybe there was a time there wasn't. I gotta hold on to that one. I gotta hold on to that one. So maybe I was mistaken. Maybe the Christians were going to be fed to lions, and maybe there was no lion out there that was going to be helping them out. But if there was it written in there somewhere? I'm going to have to do a search on that one. But I'm still waiting for the computer to do its business so I can get a PDF out of this one. I know I wrote something about it in my own damn stories. Somewhere in there. Just wasn't quite sure how and what. But still. Yeah. I remember writing something about that one. My own version of it. Except you would have someone who knows a lion similar and knew how to speak the language. And lions turning the tail on the Romans. I think I liked that story when I was writing it. But this is just, I don't know what to make of it, Reverend. I tell you the truth, honest to God, I don't know. You know what scares even me, trying to do live feeds? I haven't done one in a hell of a long while, and I'm afraid of it. I've done a couple because in the middle of the night, nobody else would be watching, and I didn't care, and I was too damn scared. This situation here, I don't know what the hell I'm thinking about. I have no clue what I'm doing. And I'm still waiting for my large computer to... Come on, save the damn thing so I can get this on the PDF. Here we are. Automatic save to the PDF. Cool. I can save that one. Cool. See, I value knowledge. And also checking facts left and right on that one. Now I gotta get back into it. Okay. Alright. Okay, so probably there was a myth out there somewhere. YouTube talks about it, but what I'm trying to find out. Maybe it had been as fiction and people kind of took it as reality. Or maybe I did the same thing too. But that's why I have to research, double check the information, and make sure everything else is copacetic on this one because I don't know. They got different variations of this thing online. So it'll take me a while trying to get this thing. I don't know. That lion called Christian. That's what and that's what Yahoo's keep pulling up right now as it is. It's just not exactly what I'm looking at. I'm trying to see if the Christians were actually, if that was a mythos or not, if they were getting eaten. We're all dependent upon the Holy Text at this point to give us some kind of accurate information. But, sometimes we have to take it with a grain of salt. If we happen to think that we are dealing with starving lions in the Roman Empire, then they probably will eat anything and everything, including the guys holding them hostage. So what would be fair to say if they saw Christians, they saw lunch or dinner, because they already skipped breakfast. They might as well go for the other guys and just. But in one brutalistic way, we're looking at this kind of thing going on right now as it is. Empires. Empires in thought and creation, form and function. This is what scares a hell of a lot of people, including my friend. And yeah, it does have me concerned. It would be the understatement, but I'll use it anyway. The United States, we may be turning into a damn empire. But not a conquering empire, though. If we were, we would have been sending out ships more so against people left and right, and trying to go after territory left and right. Star Trek mythos on this one. They were talking about it in the 60s of a reverse universe where Earth had turned into a galactic empire fighting for its existence. The Terran Empire made a few alliances with a few alien races that swore total obedience to the Terran Empire. And they had to keep conquering left and right. Over the past, I don't know so many years we've got going on, people have been writing stories about this. Expanding an empire. Expanding storylines, maybe telling different variations, but it was still the same thing. A fear of intimidation, of threats, of violence. They saw another version of it, many versions of it. Next Generation didn't do it. Star Trek Next Generation didn't do it. They didn't touch it. They didn't do the parallel universe. I didn't think Roddenberry would do it all over again. They brought out the Borg, but no, that wasn't it. They got the Klingon Empire, Romulan Empire, but the political stuff. Deep Space Nine covered that, and Voyager did not. But in the novels and in the cartoons that they made, they were touching it left and right on this. And when they had their show of Star Trek Enterprise, the fourth in the series, only managed to pull out about 4 seasons, and I think it could have been going for 7 at that point. They should have. I mean, they would continue with the storylines, but the ratings weren't there. The ratings weren't there as they should have been in the other ones, but it was just going down since Next Generation. They were trying to hold it up for seven seasons, and they did barely, but they did for Deep Space Nine, and then barely enough for 7 seasons on Voyager. But they couldn't keep up the momentum for Star Trek Enterprise. And in the Star Trek episode, at the last season, nearly the last few episodes, they did the mirror universe. They did the mirror universe, and they were showing what kind of issues that the mirror universe was having with its aliens out there. Well, if you truly wanted to see it a little further ahead in time, you would have watched Deep Space Nine, because every once in a while they would come across the mirror universe. The Terran Empire, at that point, fell, and it was already a few other empires that gathered their forces to thump on Earth and turn them into slaves. So it was the Terrans not wanting their empire back, but wanted to get their freedom back for their planet, fighting back. And therefore they visited the Deep Space Nine regular universe, and we would have episodes on that situation. Just singular episodes, but nothing longer than that. It would have been interesting to see that kind of a darkened vision of it. I mean, hell, Roddenberry had to open up the damn thing in the first place. I'll blame him on that one. But we're talking about reality now. We're getting back into reality at this point. We haven't turned ourselves into a conquering nation. When we got into the atomic weapons, the hydrogen, and then the nuke, and by this time, we have a club going on for several countries. I think I talked to you about this one. Several countries already in the nuclear club. And we had tried to be the world's superpower, unfortunately. And now we got these other powers. Are still struggling, but they're still gathering more and more momentum. Russia less, China more. Middle East is still touchy as hell. Nothing happened in Latin America yet except for a drug war, and that's about it. But out here, United States, tearing itself apart with another damn civil war. That's how I'm seeing it. We got this. We have the civil war happening. On occasions, there's a shot fired here and there. We got the racism still heavily. It's still heavy here. I'm still trying to find the right words because I think my brain's not exactly working very well. We're tearing ourselves apart. Each election cycle is getting harder and harder to deal with. If there's expected to be low turnout, we got the Republicans coming in and we got the Trump empire coming in. If we do have a strong turnout, voter-wise, I mean, actually, both by in person and drop-in and then mail-in, gotta be willing, we'll get Harris done. But there's no guarantee that we're going to have it quiet. Now, remember what happened on January 6th 4 years ago. That's brought up all the time. I watched it live on television. Almost threw up on it too. I mean, when I started talking about throw up, I mean, I get nauseous. And it's very upsetting when I see stuff like that happening because it seems like I'm making a remark saying I'm going to throw up on this one. Well, I'd rather not because I just drank coffee. She's wanting me. Mama. She must be obeyed. So much for a chat. We really got to have one. You know that? I know. I got to get a schedule. Yeah. All right. Talk at you later, Rev. Maltus.